The woman with the pig swaggered into the police station and slapped her hand across an officer's face. The hallway lights flickered, and in the next second, the officer vanished into thin air. The woman only wanted to control her mother, Evelyn, and drag her into the void. She pulled another officer into a dance, turning him into a dancer who lost all fighting ability. Then she hugged a third officer, swapping his head and feet, and dropped him to the floor. Defeated, Evelyn stood frozen, staring at her daughter as the girl turned toward her. Terrified, Evelyn believed that the more desperate she felt, the stronger she would become. She wet herself as a condition to trigger a consciousness jump, hoping to gain the skills of a martial artist. But instead, she landed in a universe where her hands were hot dogs. Back in the real universe, those hot dog hands left her unable even to open a door. Helpless, she was easily beaten by her daughter, who didn't harm her but instead forced Evelyn's fingers apart, pushing her into a universe of her own creation. There, Evelyn saw a black donut filled with nothingness. She began to sink into the illusion, but her father suddenly appeared, crashing into his granddaughter. He was the leader of the resistance against her. Once Evelyn was safe, her daughter in the real universe also broke free from the control. Evelyn's father handed her a knife, telling her to strike her powerless daughter to stop the universe from collapsing. But Evelyn couldn't bring herself to do it. Furious, her father raised a gun to kill all three of them, only to have Evelyn knock it away with a bottle. They hid in a locked room, desperately discussing how to escape. Evelyn's father summoned soldiers from other universes. Their ways of triggering power were bizarre. One sang, one licked a wall, and one even relieved himself. Smoke bombs flooded the room, but Evelyn didn't panic. She triggered her power by sneezing with a feather duster, instantly gaining the skills of a stage actress. Still, she couldn't defeat everyone and was ambushed. Losing her ability, panicking, she swallowed a toad from the bookshelf and jumped again. In that universe, she twirled signs on the street. Returning to reality, she snatched a shield and spun it with dazzling skill, knocking out every soldier, leading her companions. She tried to retreat, but she was blasted toward a window. A woman wielding a dog as a weapon appeared. Forced, Evelyn gulped down an entire liter of soda, pressed her headphones, and entered a chef's universe. With a spatula and ladle, she cut the leash, sending the dog flying, and defeated the woman. Just when she thought the fight was over, her father lunged out and pinned her against the wall. In desperation, Evelyn inhaled a fly and triggered another jump. In that universe, even her pinkies were muscled. With such absurdly strong fingers, she easily broke free, launching her father across the room and finishing off the remaining soldiers. Exhausted, she collapsed after the battle. At that moment, her daughter, determined to control her, appeared in this universe again. Evelyn wanted to trigger another jump, but her repeated leaps had pushed her body in the real universe beyond its limits.